Welcome to Dplay Studio. Today we will try to add the player piece on our path point and remove our player piece from the our path point. So to do that, we will open our game manager script. In game manager script, we will first create the list for the path point, public list, path point, path point list equals to new list path point, and in here we will create function public void add path point. In here we will do path point pass this inside our function, and path point list dot add point. Let's change it to path point, and similarly we will remove it. So public void remove path point, and in before this we will check if this is only for our safety. uh, Path point list dot contains path point, and then we will do pass this path point list dot remove path point. And now to call these functions, in we will go in our player pre script. In our player pre script we will add new variables public path point and name it previous path point, and current path point. So first we will go to our make player ready to move function. In this, what we will do, previous path point which will be equal to path points to move 0, mm, path point to move 0, and it will be same for the current path point, right? So what we will do, we will add this game manager dot instance dot add path point, which will be current path point, but both are equal so we can do any. And now what we will do, go in our if condition which is in our move steps function over here. Now we will try to do something here. First we will remove the player piece, remove the path point which will be game manager dot instance dot remove path point, which will be previous path point, and after that we will try to call current path point. Current path point will be equal to path points to move and number of steps to move -1. Now we will add this path point. So what we will do, game manager dot instance dot add path point, current path point, and what we will do, previous path point will be equal to current path point. So now we will try to add the player piece over the path point. So to do that, what we are going to do, we will create first instance of this public static path point, name it path point, and path point equals to this. We will do this in our wake function. Path point equals to this. And now what we will do in our start function, we will call this path object parent equals to get component path object parent, and in here we will add a new list for player piece. To do that, we will call public list player piece, player piece list equals to new list player piece. And similar, we will create the function public void add player piece, and player piece in here we will add it. So player piece list, we copy paste it from here, and dot add piece, and similarly we will remove it as done in game manager. Public void remove player piece. So first we will check if player piece list dot contains piece. Player piece list dot remove piece, and now we will call this function in our player piece script. So we will call it, first we will do it in make player ready to move. So for that we will do it in here, uh, path point dot path point dot add player piece, which will be this player piece. And now we'll go similarly in our move step function over here, and in here after remove path point we will remove our player piece, which will be path point dot path point remove player piece this. And similarly we will add it afterwards, where after add path point, here game manager, not game manager, path point dot path point dot add player piece this. But here we need to add over our current path point. To do that, we will change path point. We will do like this: current path point and dot add player this, and we will change here also. Uh, these all things we are doing here to add the player piece will be on the path point. So to do that, we will go on our, we will do previous path point over here, previous path point, like this. And similarly over here we will do current path point. Let me copy paste. And similarly in here we have corrected it. So let's see if it works. I'll save the script, and so let's see by playing it. See, so in our game manager script, we can see over here path point list, which is path point, and by clicking on it here, so it's showing this is the path point. And when I go on path point, see here it shows which player is over here. It's showing blue player 1. So this is how it's working. And let's see why it's not calling over here. Let me go to the script, path point, path object parent. Let's do path object parent. Here we need to add get component in parent, because this is the parent component and that's the child component. So let's check it out once again. Let me play it again. See here it's now path object parent path object. This is showing, picking up it here. So blue player piece, this is the blue player piece 1. And see when I now here there are two player pieces, but they are overlapping over each other. Now in next lecture we will see how to resize them accordingly. So let's meet in our next lecture. Before that, here we were actually trying to get component of the path object parent, but we need to do get component in parent. That was I was doing wrong, because our path points, let me show you, because all of our path points are the child of path object parent. So that's why it was not picking up the path point. So in clear piece script, in under that enumerator move steps, in that we have written if condition is path point available to move, and in that there is return, we have coded that current path point equals to path points to move, and in that part we have written number of steps to move. Instead of that, we will using number of steps already moved. So this was the error I was this was the error, so I have corrected it. So I think now there will be no mistake. The code will work fine. So let's meet in the next lecture.